Hello and welcome to the Spring 2018 edition of the Concord Township Trustees Fireside Chat. You probably noticed that we are in fact not in front of a fire this time. We are actually at...
You have a wood furnace behind you.
We do. I think maybe originally coal. We are at the Old Stone Schoolhouse on Ravenna Road. And I want to give you a little bit of information for those who don't know much about it. It was constructed in 1840 at a cost of $200. And it was one of 9 one-room schoolhouses in Concord Township in the 1800s. This facility served Concord Township students until 1923. And currently is the township's historical museum for artifacts, documents, photos, things of that nature related to Concord Township. Some interesting things. Elga Pomeroy was a student in this schoolhouse.
Elja.
I'm sorry, Elja, see?
Sorry.
Connie corrected me. Elja was a student in the schoolhouse, and she became a teacher in this schoolhouse, and then eventually lived in this building until the time of her death at 105 years old. So this building has a lot of great history for Concord Township, and we would encourage you to come and take a look at it with your friends and family. There are public tours that are given regularly. You can go on, see the hours of that in our township newsletter, The Grapevine. You can also find that information online. And there are also private tours that are available, and you can schedule through the recreation department by giving them a call and seeing when we can align that with your schedule. I want to take a moment to jump into some of the things that we have going on around the township. But just first to introduce, for those who don't know, this is Connie Luda, corrector of things, and when I screw up, and Paul Malcheski, our other trustee.
I just make fun of you.
That's right. And that's how it should be. So we have a lot coming up.
I just want to add that we had a fire here in the early 2000s, and the renovation was spearheaded and conducted by Bob and Rose Moore, who are longtime residents of Concord Township.
Correct. And great stewards of Concord history as well. And that renovation was also assisted by the Terriaco family.
Well, yes, that's true. And there's a list of people who helped somewhere in this building. It's a plaque with everybody's name on it.
This was actually dedicated as a historical site within the township in 2006. And at the end of our little chat, there'll be a brief video tour of the schoolhouse that you'll be able to enjoy. We have a lot coming up in Concord Township, starting in the spring and then moving into the summer. There is going to be some activities here at Old Stone Schoolhouse that you'll be able to look and see on our website. In addition, there is a summer concert series that will be beginning on June 21st. And those take place at Concord Town Hall at the gazebo. There are 5 concerts set throughout the summer. They're on Thursday evenings in June and July from 7 to 9 p.m. There are food trucks. There's various activities going on around that. So we really do encourage you to look up the schedule in the Grapevine on the website and come out to the concert series. It's a really nice chance to meet some of your neighbors and have a nice evening with some great music.
Bring your own chairs.
Bring your own chairs.
And you can park right here at the Old Stone Schoolhouse and walk over to the concert. You can also go ahead and look at our gardens in the back, and those are rentable for the season, although I think they're already filled up. But get in line for next season, and then you can get to the Greenway pathway for to the Metro Parks through the same parking lot. So I encourage you to come out here. The school does have hours that you can come and visit. You can set up appropriate times to come in and bring your family if you so choose to do so. But it's a really neat experience, and it's a little bit about the history of Concord Township and some great artifacts that we have surrounding us today.
I would also be remiss if I didn't point out that on August 11th, which is Saturday, August 11th, we will be having our annual Concord Community Day, which takes place over at the Town Hall campus. That's the parade, there's Kids World, food trucks, there's the beer and wine portion of it, as we call Uncorked. There'll be live music, Chinese raffle, fireworks, the usual. So I'll put that on your calendar for August 11th. We hope to see everybody there for that. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Paul to talk about some of the things that the Service Department has coming up as it relates to the road program in 2018.
Well, the Service Department is primed to do a couple of projects this year. Mount Royal Subdivision, Quail Hollow, portions of Quail Hollow Subdivision. We will be finishing up and replacing Jason and Christian, but that's not going to be until the spring of 2019. As we are waiting for Ohio Public Works Commission's funding for that project. Otherwise, the Service Department has 2 crews out that will be doing asphalt repairs, concrete repairs, and then we will have 1 single crew that will be out there crack sealing the roads, putting some band-aids on other roads that we will get addressed in full depth repair. Probably 2-3 years down the road. Those band-aids take about 2 or 3 years before they need to be ripped off and a full depth repair will take place. So the Service Department, we try to get our projects in early so we know where our funding is, and then hopefully able to sneak out 1 additional project towards the end of the season. And we've been able to do that successfully for many years now, and so we'll continue to do that. They will also assist in some stormwater projects, and there are some stormwater projects prepped and ready to go for the season, and those will be throughout the township, and then others will just be based upon emergency situations that do arise. So we're making sure that we get our stormwater dollars and cents ready to go. We will have some additional information once we have our stormwater meeting with the stormwater department and the county engineer's office, and that will take place later on this spring. And as we're coming to you early spring as we're recording this. It's a little still chilly outside,
Yeah,
so hopefully when you're watching it, it's a lot warmer than it is today.
It's when we're filming this, it's the second day of spring, so of course it's snowing.
It's barely spring.
Before I have Connie talk about some of the exciting things going on with the fire department, I do want to just talk about some zoning things that we have happening. There's been a lot of questions about development of housing off of Cryle Road. There's signage that would be south of the Capitol Parkway interchange. Just to let everybody know, that is phase 11 of the Quail Hollow PUD that was actually approved in 1984.
I believe 84.
1984, and is actually part of the Quail Hollow PUD subdivision. There's going to be about 50 houses that will be in that development, with Hunting Lake Drive being extended out to Quail Hollow. So those of you who do live in Quail Hollow, that's what that project is. That's what you see the signage for, and eventually there will be an ingress-egress with that road connected to Hunting Lake Drive, allowing folks in that subdivision to be able to access Cryle from a different point other than Friedel Road.
And just to add to that, Chris, the front portion of that, what you see on Cryle Road, will be that is commercial, and again, that's also part of the PUD in Quail Hollow. So the front portion of it, that where you actually see that sign, will be a commercial portion of the PUD for Quail Hollow. And again, that was planned way back in the early 80s.
Some other interesting things that are going on Cryle Road. A lot of folks have seen construction over by Starbucks. That is currently a Chipotle that is under construction. We expect that to be open probably sometime in July or August. In addition, Drug Mart, a lot of folks have had questions about Drug Mart. Drug Mart should be opening at the end of April, and probably with a tentative opening date of around April 30th, and that's the word from the good folks at Drug Mart. So something that we're all looking forward to, having a drugstore in the township. In addition, I would point out to folks that we continue to work hard to work on bringing in a grocer in the former Riders location. There is interest. I know there's a lot of rumors swirling around the township. As I always like to say, if you see or hear rumors on the internet, 95% of the time they're wrong. Anybody has questions, feel free to call us or email us at trustees@concordtwp.com. But we continue to be vigilant. We continue to work with interested parties, and hopefully soon we'll have something to be able to announce as it relates to a future tenant for that very critical location. Connie, we have some things going on in the fire department that we've been working on for a couple of years, and the next phase is getting ready to start, and I'm going to let you talk about that.
Oh, great. Well, we have advertised for request for qualifications for new fire stations, because we had a study done by the Ohio Fire Chiefs Association for feasibility, and they recommended that our fire stations be upgraded or replaced because they are a little old, like 60 years old. And no decisions have been made, but we are moving forward with planning to ensure that we do the right thing for the residents and for the town.
Yeah, I just add, like anything, you need to plan for the future, and those planning stages take a long time. And when I say a long time, every single thing that we plan for takes a lot longer than we expected to.
At least 10 years usually.
That's right, and my understanding is when they did the World War II memorial in Washington, D.C., it took them 18 years. So building two buildings or replacing buildings will take an extensive period of time, but it's necessary to plan for those, both financially, both with way those facilities should operate, and we will continue to move the ball forward as each year goes past.
I would also point out that the Ohio Fire Chiefs feasibility study is available on the township website for you to review and read and see the documentation that has been compiled to this date as it relates to the station locations and things that are necessary in terms of being able to move the township forward, that department forward into the future to meet our needs as a community over the next 50 years. So that's available if you're reading. The RFQ will be going out, and we'll be taking the next step on the planning for Concord's safety future. That's it for this edition of the Fireside Chat here from the Old Stone Schoolhouse. I'm Chris Galloway with Connie Luda and Paul Malcheski, your Board of Trustees. As always, you can reach us by calling us. Our phone numbers are on our website at concordtwp.com. You can also email us at trustees@concordtwp.com. And as we leave you, we hope you'll enjoy this brief video tour of the schoolhouse and see some of the neat things that Concord's history has to offer. Thanks very much for watching.
Please stop in.
Right.